Archsaint.
Righteous ponage.
Greetings to the Archsaint here, and in this video I want to show you some stuff I've been working on in totally accurate battle simulator and custom content. I've created some factions, created a whole bunch of units, and I made myself a campaign. I'm calling it Religion Wars, and you play as Bible-believing Christians, and you take on Mormons, Muslims, the Roman Catholic Church, and social justice warriors, SJWs. Yeah, so if you don't have a sense of humor, you probably just shut this video off right now. I'm going to showcase all of the factions real quick, and then you can go ahead and download this if you want. It's through 4 different scenarios. Kind of challenging, especially the last battle. Okay, this is the Bible-believing faction, the faction you'll play as if you play the campaign. And I kind of poke fun at my own people that you start off with the pew sitter, and pew sitters are kind of useless. They just fall down wherever you place them at the beginning, and they'll latch on to people as they run by. They're kind of a distraction. Next up's the Bible thumper, and I couldn't give him a Bible because the only book you get is like a ranged attack, so I gave him this giant shield with a cross on it. It's like a Crusader shield, and it's really good for blocking projectiles and getting in there, and he's pretty tough. Up next is the Soul Winner, and he kind of looks like a safari type dude, but I kind of gave him clothes to look like a street preacher or minister. But he ropes up people and pulls them towards him, and he has like a taekwondo kick. So he takes out people with, usually with one shot when he lands it. Pretty good for taking out ranged dudes. Next up we have Street Preacher, and I gave him a little shield. It's nowhere near as effective as the Bible Thumper, but it's supposed to be like a handheld sign. I also gave him a banner, and he preaches the Word of God, and so Word of God is like, it's like a hammer, and it's like fire, so he calls down a hammer, and he has like a flame breath, and he can take out huge groups of units when you place them right. Next up is the Prayer Warrior, and she shuts down other units with, I think it's like the Pharaoh move. I can't remember, but and I give her a ranged dodge. She's really hard to kill for range attacks, and she's really good to shut people down. Well, that's nice. Actually makes sense. This is the Psalmist, and she calls down the thunder, and she has a really good ranged block, so she gets into groups of units and does a whole bunch of damage. Then up next we have the Bible Teacher. He has that time stop move, which is really cool, and he has I put the heal ability on the Bible, but I gave it negative damage, so he actually damages people when he opens the Bible with like this long range sniping beam. He's really fun to play. And then finally, the last unit is the Church Elder, and he's got a light shield, again with the Bible. He's got like these homing orbs that call down nukes, like light nukes. He's pretty fun to play as well. So these two are the most expensive units, obviously in the late game. So when you play the campaign, every faction you fight, you're going to restart with just these 3 units, and then you'll slowly gain the others as you continue in the campaign. Each faction you fight has 5 different levels of continuing difficulty. So yeah, that's a Bible-believing faction. Over here you have the SJWs, the Social Justice Warriors, and I kind of made 3 units that are all the same, and they just look ridiculous with you know how they dress with like pink and blue and green hair and all that stuff, and they kind of look retarded. So that's how I made them look, and they pretty much just swarm you. That's their tactic. So there's tons of these guys. And then over here you have this is what's called a peaceful protester, and this Oh wow, something's glitching. It has like 1,000 eyes. Uh, but he'll hit you with a baseball bat, or he'll throw a smoke grenade, which will kill you. And SJWs are stupid, so they often kill their own units. Here we have the TV head, and he's got a mask on because he's been brainwashed by the TV, and it's got a pretty mean right hook. Up next, we got a hoodlum with a knife. Likes to blend in with SJWs and get a little knife action going. Here we have a hoodlum with a gun, and they just kind of go together. And then finally, for the boss, this is a wolf in sheep's clothing. So it's a guy with a wolf mask, and he has these claw-like weapons, like guitars. That's the SJW. Those are the first people you fight in the game. Or in the campaign, rather. So next up you have the Mormons. And starting off you have a Mormon Elder. And if you know anything about Mormons, they call their kids and their teenagers elders, and so I thought it would be appropriate to make a little guy and call him an elder. I think he just has the halfling grab special ability. Then you have Mormon Missionaries, and they always come in twos. They got backpacks. One of the backpacks has the balloon attack, so I think it's the guy on top. He'll grab you and fly up in the air if he's able to get that off. So next up we have the, I think I called him the Undergarment Master, because Mormons, they wear special underwear that they believe is magical, and so I gave this guy a good melee and ranged attack, so he's really hard to hit. Other than that, he doesn't have anything special about him. Now this guy here's a Mormon Prophet. They got those in the church, and I gave him a crossbow with some balloon bolts, because why not? This is a Mormon Apostle. I think they got 12 of them, and I just made him really creepy. I gave him a gun, and he's got this aura radius here that prevents other units from moving around. So sometimes I would have the undergarment guy in front of him in the campaign. But yeah. Next up you have the Mormon Gifter, and there's a gift thing, and it explodes into another unit, and this could actually just have them win almost instantly, because it'll pick from at random from the game's units, and you could get like death or something and just wipe everybody out. Next up you have a Mormon Teacher, and when he opens his book, out comes ping pong balls that bounce all over the place, and they're fairly inaccurate, but in swarms they can be kind of effective. You see, the Mormon religion is a joke, and so I tried to make their units really joke-like. So, and then you have the Angel Moroni, who's actually the devil that Joseph Smith claims, that came to him and on all that nonsense. And so there you go. That's the Mormons. Okay, next up we got the Muslims, and starting off with a peaceful Muslim, and he'll throw apples at you pretty fast. They don't do too much damage, but and they're not very accurate. But in swarms, they're pretty effective. Then you got a burqa lady, and I think I just gave her like a head charge rush. Can't remember. Then you have the jihadist, kind of self-explanatory, scimitar. This is a bomber, throws bombs. This is his melee bomb, kamikaze. And that reminds me that every single unit, I'm pretty sure every single unit, when they die, they drop a bomb. So even the peaceful Muslims will drop a bomb and explode. Then we have the refugee, in quotations, and they sneak into countries as refugees, but actually what they're trying to do is kill and hurt people. They got acid, they got knives, and they'll just teleport behind your enemy lines. You gotta look out for them Muslim refugees. And here we have an imam, as a Muslim teacher, and out of his book is, I fireballs. I think I couldn't get the fireballs working, so I gave him fire arrows. The range on the fireballs weren't too good. So that's him. And then we have the Warlord, kind of self-explanatory. He has a spin bomb move, and he's got a lot of hit points and whatnot. And so he can be a pain. And then we have Muhammad's Gabriel, who had like 600 wings or something. So I just put all the wings on him I could do. And he's really the devil. And he will one-shot in melee with his wicked-looking scorpion ivy from Soul Calibur sword whip things. Yeah. Okay, next up we have the Catholics. And starting off, we got a nun, and nuns are creepy. So I gave him the multiply ability, where I think if you attack them, they'll multiply. There's a chance they'll turn into 2, so they can be pretty dangerous. Get a big crowd going pretty quick. There's a Catholic priest, and I turned him pretty much into a vampire. Gave him red gloves. Originally, I gave him a bottle of wine and a fish, but then I remembered Catholics actually believe that they're drinking literal blood, so I just gave him a vampire. He'll latch on and start sucking blood out of units. It's a one-hit kill too, so you gotta watch out for these guys. They're pretty strong. Oh, this is an altar boy, and they got the fans, and you know those priests like the altar boys. So you'll find them near the priests in the campaign, and they're pretty annoying to fight. This is a bishop, and he's got this rod that shoots snakes, and I gave him a bottle of wine that he'll whack you over the head if you get too close. But he's pretty much a ranged guy. That's pretty annoying. Next up we have a Jesuit, and he's all about getting behind your lines and stabbing you or throwing poison at you, just like real Jesuits. And so then we have the Crusader. Everybody knows these guys, right? Give him a purple shield instead of a red shield. Pretty tough. Next up, you have the Pope, and he's one of the bosses in there. I gave him the Reaper wings. He's got aside from a lot of hit points, he has these darkness energy balls that come out of his staff, and I think they turn people against each other. But yeah. And then you have this. This is Our Lady of the Bedpan, and that was based off a joke Knox, Brother James Knox, told a long time ago. He said, I was at this hospital, I can't remember which one it was. It was Our Lady of the Bedpan or something like that. And so I thought it was funny, and of course it's just another fallen angel that's behind the scenes. She'll throw ravens at you, and very, very annoying. So I think, yeah, of the more established religions, you have a devil, and as in the background calling the shots and stuff, and so that's the final boss. SJWs don't have anything like that. They're just man, they're just stupid. So anyway, so that's all the units I made, and what you can play as. Oh, also SJWs, forgot to mention. I gave them weaker hit points for these guys because they have a lot of soy in their diet, soy boys and whatnot. So they're easier to kill. I mean defeat in the campaign. So for the campaign, for the description, I put a sense of humor required. Play as Bible-believing Christians and take on social justice warriors, Mormons, Muslims, and the Roman Catholic Church. And then the thank you note, I put a little gospel message, so somebody can get saved if they want, and they take interest in this. It's how to be saved. So very cool. Again, had a lot of fun making all these things. The potential with the creator is it's incredible. They could easily add more, and I hope they do. And one thing this game needs, though, is a map maker. I don't want to download mods to do that. There's not a whole lot of maps in this game. I haven't beaten I've beaten almost all the campaigns from the game, but There just needs to be more maps and special ones that you can create as well. For the SJWs, I did the kind of like a town, so I went the ancient map. Usually Mormons were the Renaissance, Catholics were the Legacy, and then the Muslims. I did the tribal 2 because it has a cave and Osama bin Laden and whatnot. So there you go. That's all that stuff. And yeah, these are the tabs I made for them. Mormons, because Mormonism is so stupid. So just a guy banging his head against the wall. Muslims got the scimitar, very fitting because of how violent they are. And Roman Catholics, they do things in the shadows and manipulate governments and whatnot. Social justice warriors, they're insane. A lot of insane people nowadays don't even know what gender they are. They think they're multiple genders. They're a bunch of morons. And then you have the Bible believers, which is I gave them the helmet of salvation. So that has been my custom content. I'll upload it and you can download it if you want. Let me know if you beat it. I've played through it twice. There's a couple hard levels, but other than that, it's not too bad. I hope you have a lot of fun with it. This is a fun game. It's a fun, wacky game. I had that idea. I wanted to get it all together, get it out there. It took me a while to do so, but yeah. So hope you enjoy it, and thanks so much for watching. Until next time, may the Lord be with thee.